I got me a rock and roll band, it's a free-for-all. Yeah, it's free-for-all.
What is up, freebies? Welcome back. That was a hard out. Sorry about that. It's episode 74 of the Free-for-All podcast. We'll jump into what that means as far as athletes who've wore that lovely number. But first,
have you been able to log into Grant yet?
Breaking news. I couldn't get the Microsoft Teams connection to work. So I just called my private jet and said, Grant, get your butt to Wichita Falls.
Whoa! Boom!
Welcome to the KFDX Plus studio.
The band is back together.
That's the first time I've heard the theme song in like 4 months.
The boys are back and they're not looking for any trouble.
That's definitely not the tune. That's the first time I've heard the song.
You can't hear that?
No, I can't hear it on Teams.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It doesn't come through on Teams, so all I can see is the graphic, and I just kind of
I'm gonna
sing
have
it
to
to
ask.
myself.
I'm gonna have to add MJ to my great list of singers, which includes Grant Freeman.
You dang right it does.
And as I found out the other night, and breaking news, if you didn't know this, another very good singer, Memorial football coach Mark Bendel.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who's in his own band. And I say band, I think the
Big
other night was
Weather.
their second gig.
Big Weather.
Yeah.
No, they've had multiple gigs. I've been there.
Look at this guy. I'm sitting on this camera shot for a second because we don't get this very often. This is outstanding.
Well, put that full in the screen. I haven't had headphones on in a long time either.
Yeah, see, that's
Gonna
part of
mess
the
his
reason.
hair up.
I don't know what. There's so many buttons. I haven't been in here.
Yeah.
There's so many buttons to push. Like, are y'all sure that y'all want? There's a camera. I got to look at the camera.
You can do whatever you want.
We'll be. I forget about the camera.
I was gonna say I don't even.
It's hard to look at the camera when you're talking right beside me and look here and be like,
Right.
Yeah. There's a monitor. There's all kinds of stuff
Look
going
at
on.
look at all the room
I know.
for activities.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
it only took somebody donating their space to allow us more bells and whistles.
Someone's desk used to be against that back wall.
Oh, really?
Multiple people's
This was
desks.
somebody's
actually.
Hey,
office.
this was a conference room at one time.
It
Get
was.
outta
It was a news conference room.
Yeah, when I first started here, it was.
And
You're
my
exactly right.
my office was directly across the hall.
right through that
Really?
door.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at
That
that.
was the break room that became Chad's office.
The break.
Nice.
Wait, so we've had multiple break rooms just change around.
Yes, breaking news. The current break room used to be the control room for
Yes.
newscasts.
Yep. Wow. Anyway,
This is a great.
Give you a small
great
little
intro to
KFDX
the
lesson.
podcast.
Yes.
we're thrilled to have you here, Coach Free. What brings you to Wichita Falls?
I am in a layover, I guess.
Okay.
I'm in a layover between here and Jordan Freeman's first round playoff game in Childress tonight.
Look at that.
So
Traveling up to watch your daughter play some playoff volleyball. Love it.
When she's a senior, you never know when her last one's going to be. So made sure I dropped Jax off at school. He's playing in Salado tonight,
Okay.
and so I guess he can figure it out how to get home. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I guess that's my job as a parent. But came up so I can see. You just again when you get to the playoffs, you never know when the last one's going to be, and I want to be sure that I'm here for all the end part.
Absolutely.
It's a good dad, man. It's a
Sure
good dad.
is. Sure is.
I've
Should
got
be a-
that. I've got that drive down. So
I was gonna say you're fresh off, coming in on two wheels here to KFDX, right?
yeah, for sure. It was that cold front hit, and the people down in the Austin area aren't used to like 30-degree weather. They were all freaking out. There was like I thought we were going to cancel school.
Oh wow, jeez, that's something that happens in the winter. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm walking around in a short sleeve shirt yesterday and jeans, and they're like, "What are you doing?" We had people in like snow gear.
Oh boy,
I was like, "Guys, this is great. This is balmy."
it is. And there was here in Wichita Falls, super windy the last few days, but today no wind.
beautiful
It is
today.
outstanding.
It's actually cooler right now than it was yesterday, but the wind yesterday was...
Right.
Okay.
right.
And by the way, did you guys notice it was nice of y'all for us all to connect and color coordinate today?
Oh yeah, navy blue. Yeah, you know it.
Ah,
yeah, look
yeah.
at that again. The vest on Coach Free. Yeah.
So
Good job, guys.
So Coach Free mentioned Memorial Volleyball. That should be a good match tonight
I hope so.
with Lubbock Cooper
Them and Lubbock Cooper at 5:00, and then Legacy right after them
against
Who are
Amarillo,
they
yes.
playing?
Little
Amarillo.
doubleheader action. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm used to so in the teams in my office, I like have to center my head.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I'm looking at here, so I don't know how to center.
And what's bad is it's opposite, so you move
I
to
know.
the
I had to get used to it.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm seeing it on my monitor in Burnet, when y'all are going, there's about a 2-second delay. So
Right.
I've learned to not listen to you guys.
I'm constantly.
Like normal.
I have this remote in my hand, constantly switching the camera angles. So
okay.
sometimes you're up, you're down, you're left, you're right. As long as we can hear you through the microphone, that's what matters most. Anyway, you guys start thinking about number 74s in the world of sports. Not that common of a number, but there's one from Texoma that you should know. While you're doing that, I'm thanking our sponsor here on the Free For All. It's Macaulay Landscapes, proud sponsor of the Free For All podcast and proudly serving Wichita Falls for over 2 decades now. Their services include lawn maintenance, landscaping, irrigation repair, and so much more. You can visit them online, MacaulayLandscapes.com, for more information on how they can help you with your lawn care and landscaping needs. The Free For All relies on Macaulay Landscapes, and you should too.
Shout out Patrick McCauley.
No doubt. Absolutely. All right. You guys know what I was going for there when I said you should know who number 74 was with a Texoma connection?
Well, only because I just cheated and saw it.
Okay.
All I can think of is Bob Lilly.
Ding, ding,
Is that-
ding, ding,
is that
ding.
Bob? Is that
From
right?
Throckmorton, yes, sir.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, like, I wasn't crazy.
Without looking it up, I was going to guess, and it would have been a total guess, but I don't think it's right. When Ryan Brazier was with Boston, he had a really high number, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, he did. 65 is what I want to say. But I could be wrong. He definitely had a high number. That's a good shout for sure.
Baseball still going?
Baseball is still
You
going.
didn't watch the 18-inning game the other night?
What part of our friendship makes you think that I would watch 9 innings, much less 18?
Yeah.
It was a great game.
a good point.
MJ, and Ben Coker were still texting each other at, I think, 1 o'clock in the morning. We were all like, I'm going to bed. This is it. And then you'd get another
There it
text.
was
I'm like,
again.
I'm going to bed. This is it.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't make myself do it. Tied for the longest World Series game in Major League Baseball history.
Why not go for the longer? Like, what are we doing?
Here's the kicker. Will Brad Paisley ever be asked to sing the national anthem in a World Series game again?
No. I saw that tweet you sent. He sung like 4 times in
He's
every
sang
one.
4 times. Every one has gone into extra innings.
Okay.
2 of those have been the 2 longest games in World Series history, both 18 innings.
I like Brad Paisley.
If you're at a game, and no matter what game it is, and you hear Brad Paisley come out for the anthem, just leave. Don't even stay. You're out.
Or you get more bang for your buck for whatever you paid for.
You think people wanted to be there for 6.5 hours?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I'm just glad, as a Rangers fan, I'm glad that was not a Rangers game because that would have been
Telephone.
one stressful situation.
You want to answer that?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
the funny part about it, Bill Simmons was talking about it because he was famously in the shot after the Ohtani home run. They said it takes 3 hours to get out of there.
Oh,
So he
it's
didn't
nuts.
Yeah, Chavez Ravine, they didn't get home till like 4 in the morning.
Traffic in LA is insane already, and Dodger Stadium. When we went through LA, you can't actually see Dodger Stadium because of the way it's sunk into the ravine.
yeah.
But it's basically just across the highway from downtown, which is already a mess right there anyway. Yeah, so Ryan Brazier he's always had high numbers. Actually, he was number 70 with the Red Sox.
7-0.
62 with the Angels, 70 with the Red Sox, 57 with the Dodgers, and 54 with the Cubbies.
Good shout, though. That was a good pull, for sure. The 74 that I thought of as far as Boston sports, not that big of a name, Jake DeBrusk, former Bruin? I don't even remember if he's still on the team. He asked for a trade last year. I don't remember if they traded him. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they did. I don't know.
There's a former Red Sox on the list here I'm looking at.
Okay, go ahead.
Kenley Jansen.
Oh, Kenley Jansen. Yeah, he was a closer for a year or two.
And here's another one, maybe not the best. I mean, not in your top list of great basketball players, but definitely in your top 10 of basketball characters. The great Boban.
Boban, I don't even know his last name.
Yes.
It's all the same.
If you have not ever seen Boban, you can't watch Boban and not love Boban. Let's just say that.
I do love Boban. I liked him with Luca.
Of course, they were like a duo, weren't they? They
Yeah.
loved each other. All right, Coach Free. Just because you're here doesn't mean we're excusing you of your Burnett CISD responsibilities. What's new down there? Anything good?
Yeah, bye week for us this week. Took a tough loss last week to Brownwood. We are in the triage unit area of the world right now. I mean, so many people out, so many kids out. Bye week comes at a great time, and then finish the year next week. Not finish the year. Finish the regular season against Stephenville at Stephenville, and then go into the playoffs. Our girls volleyball team, the 1 seed into the playoffs,
Let's
and they
go.
play tonight in Georgetown against China Spring, and then I will be headed back because we are our teams will be competing at state cross country meet on Saturday morning. We have an individual girl, Asa Roy, that'll be competing in the girls side, and our boys team made it, and so our entire boys team will be competing in Round Rock at 9 o'clock in the boys' version of that. So we're having a lot of fun, lots of things to do. Our band made it to state, so band is at state next Wednesday. I'm going to my first state band competition at the Alamo Dome on Wednesday, and I'm excited. What do I need to look for, Chad? I need some help on that.
State band.
I'm not supposed to cheer. They've already told me that I can't cheer at certain times, right?
You just can't cheer. Well, I mean, you can cheer like if they play a solo or something like that, and you like it. Yeah,
okay.
it's
because they said there's like specific rules to this at state. Like
I mean, we've always cheered.
Okay, well, I'm gonna.
Now you're not going to be like up cheering the whole time, but like if there's somebody that plays a solo or something like that, yeah, you're going to cheer.
Okay, that's good.
You're going to cheer them when they come, when they introduce them. You're going to cheer them when they're introduced.
Okay, I'm good.
There are rules like. They won't let, at least when the band competitions I've been at, I'm assuming they probably do it the same at the Alamo Dome. You can't enter the seating bowl while a band is playing.
So I have to be like timing wise.
Right.
Okay, so we'll give an update next week from state band.
Okay.
Because it'll be Coach Free's first state band. And we're going to win. Like, listen.
Heard.
We're going to win. We're coming down to Round Rock to win state cross country. We're not messing around in Burnett CISD.
Listen, you are famously a massive fan of state swim, so I need to know if you
State swim is awesome.
I need to know where you come down after the fact on state band, okay? So I'm
Yeah.
going to be looking forward to that.
State swim is one of the coolest events. If you have never been to state swim, you need to go. And we will have kids there this year because we actually have swim and dive. We have dive in Burnett, just so you know.
Okay,
And
flex.
I went in the other day to see the dive thing, and I'm out. I'm just letting you know that's never happened. If we'd have had this dive whenever you did that little thing where you made me do stuff, remember that?
I need to talk to some of your.
dive. I
I need to
wouldn't
talk
do
to
the
some
dive.
of your video people to re-kick off
That is way
Free
up
for
there.
3 and have you do a high dive.
We do have a 3 for free. We keep switching. I keep calling it the Free for 3, where I interview the coaches and the kids right now. So we've got that on our Boxcast app on our athletics.
I need to send those guys a couple of the 3 with Lees and tell them that Grant really wants to do a diving.
I'm not doing
Yes.
the dive. I walked in. Do you know how high that thing is? Those people are crazy.
I don't know the correlation of meters to yard.
I don't either.
But it's
know
way up there.
Way up there. I don't know how we get kids that are up there doing that. That's insane to me.
And standing on their it's like doing
It's
a
crazy.
handstand and stuff.
Guys, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm not doing it.
So
And this is coming from somebody who's bungee jumped before. I'm not doing that.
So Burnett's 4A and Burnett had their area competitions last week for band.
Yes.
5A and 3A have their area competitions this weekend. So
Okay.
Memorial and Legacy will be competing at their area competition in
Let's go.
the
Let's go.
very short trip to Andrews, Texas for their area round.
Michael Walta and Loy Studer, shout out. Let's go.
That's a hike.
Yes.
That is a hike.
Are y'all gonna have them on the podcast?
Yes, they will actually be here in a few minutes.
Let's go.
Fantastic. All right, before we get into WFISD football, because there's some interesting playoff scenarios I want to run through, I'm going out of order on the rundown a little bit, Chad, because I got to make fun of ourselves.
We have a rundown?
Guys, what are we doing?
No,
What are we
let's
doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Outstanding question.
I think it's what are you doing?
I was gonna say we're taking me out of this.
Okay, fair. Chad, you're guilty by association because you were in the room last
Fair,
week when this
fair.
happened. This was us last week on the Free for All. You may have been looking for the episode on YouTube or
I
on
was.
Spotify or on Facebook, and this is what you got. Alongside the man I always look up to, he's slouching over in his chair right now. He's the Burnett CISD Athletic Director. It's Coach Free. What's going on? Yep.
Hey, you should post that and have people
I did.
have people closed caption what was Grant saying.
Oh, that is. Well, if I remember right, I was getting posture whipped there.
You were getting posture whipped by me, and then come to find out, we could hear you in our headsets, Coach Free.
Everything sounded great.
Your audio was not going into our system. So you were talking head for the entire 50-minute podcast. So we scrapped it. We didn't even run it. Episode 73 does not exist.
Well, I will tell you this.
So
I
is
got
this
a lot of
73 and a half?
complaints.
So we're 74 then.
We're 74, yeah.
Okay.
I got a lot of complaints because it's getting popular in Burnett now.
Good.
So they were ticked that they did not have a podcast to, I guess, show during activity period last week or something. I think we're watching it in class now. So don't
know what
do
the-
that. We need to focus on our studies.
You know what the big comment was down there last week? Dad, burn it.
There's a hat.
Is that a dad joke?
No, there's a hat. There's a famous guy or a famous quote in Burn It is it's burn it, darn it. And there's a hat that says it's burn it, darn it.
MJ's not from Texas. He's probably never heard Dad burn it before.
Because everybody says Burnett.
I've said it multiple times on this podcast.
It's
yes.
burn it, darn it.
It's burn it, darn it.
I'm going to get you the hat.
Okay. I got to wear that and be like, oh, and they'll be like, what? And I'll be like, it's burn it, darn it. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk some high school football and pull up our full screen here if I can, because very interesting scenarios in District 2, 5A, Division 2, which includes our Wichita Falls Independent School District teams. So here are the standings, right, through, 5 weeks of the district play. Abilene Cooper's 4-1, Paladuro's 4-0, Wiley 2-2, Lubbock Cooper 2-3, Plainview, Legacy, and Memorial all 1-3. We're going to talk about the two teams at the bottom, both Wichita Falls schools, because you look at 1 and 3 and you say, oh, season over. No, not true. There are paths to the postseason for both of those schools, actually. So while I change the graphic over, let's talk about the Memorial Mavericks first, because you saw right there they were 1 and 3. So how can Memorial get into the postseason? Well, here's how they do it. Memorial is in if they beat Plainview and they beat Legacy, finishing with a 3-3 record. And the reason they're in, at 3-3, they could either be tied with Abilene Wiley or Lubbock Cooper, or potentially a 3-way tie, but they would hold the tiebreaker and get in as the 4th and final playoff team. Thoughts?
It's like I told you a couple of weeks ago, it's a race to a number of games.
Yep.
So really, if you look, there's 2 people in the playoffs now because they got 4 wins. That's Paladuro and Abilene Cooper. And then it's a race to get to 3 is really the thing here. So Lubbock Cooper has the best chance because they're already at 2. And then Plainview, Legacy, or Memorial would have to win out to get to 3. Abilene Wiley's at 2 as well. So the bottom 3 has to win out to get to 3. Wiley or Cooper just has to win 1 to get there. And Lubbock Cooper only has 1 opportunity to do that because they're open the last week.
And Memorial, if Memorial wins out, they're in.
Correct.
If Legacy wins out, they still need
help.
They still need a little bit of help because of the points breakdown. And that's where I don't know if y'all remember, we talked a couple of weeks ago about Plainview or Legacy not maxing out Plainview. They beat them by 14, and the max point total is 15. So
with that, we were talking about this earlier. MJ and I were talking about this. So with that, if Lubbock Cooper does not win this week, if they don't get to 3, they are most likely out. They will probably a 2-win team will not go to the playoffs this year.
Theoretically, and Chad was pondering this before the podcast started. Theoretically, there's like a 3-way tie at 2 and 4.
A 4-way tie.
I don't want to go down that road because let's
wait and see what happens this week.
Right.
Yeah,
it could be a lot more realistic after this week.
Right.
So basically, Lubbock Cooper has to win this week or they're out.
Pretty much. And then if Lubbock Cooper wins this week, they're at 3-3. Well, now Wiley is at 2 and 3 going into the final week. So even if Wiley's 3 and 3, Memorial's got the tiebreaker over Wiley if Memorial were to get to 3 and 3. But Chad, you did bring up Legacy, and so here I just want to show the folks at home this. So Legacy has to win both regardless, which includes beating a Paladuro team, which is in first place right now, and your crosstown rival Memorial. You have to do that regardless. And Wiley either needs to win both of its last 2 or lose both of its last 2. Can't have a 1-1 record.
You guys look at all of these weird things. Like I just look, you got to get to 3. It doesn't matter. Like the 4s are in, and you got to get to 3. If you don't get into 3, you're not getting in.
I love the simplification from the coach.
Really, I mean,
get
that's
to
what
3.
it is.
Just get to 3.
Can we get to 3? Like Lubbock Cooper has 1 opportunity to get to 3. There's a couple other teams that have to win multiple times to get to 3.
Yeah, Plainview could get to 3. Legacy could get to 3. Memorial could get to 3.
And to
Wiley
Grant's
could get to
point,
3
why
too.
3 is so important, Legacy is the only team that potentially could win 3 games and still potentially not make the playoffs.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. That's because of points.
Right.
Got it. Yeah. So there you go. That's the District 2-5A Division 2 wildness here in Texas high school
But
football.
what's even crazier about it is I'm reading credit to Zach Duncan and his
Shout out Robert
and his area playoff Red River.
Yep. Red River Roundup on Substack.
you.
Great subscription.
Very much worth the subscription. Nobody covers breaking down playoff scenarios quite like Zach Duncan does.
If you don't know what Substack is, it's just a place for independent writers to have an outlet, and you just subscribe, whatever it is, X amount of dollars per month or for the year, and you get to see all their content. They're not necessarily associated with a TV station or a newspaper or a outlet. Substack is their personal outlet. Sorry, Chad, go ahead.
No, you're fine. And to tack on to that, we are very blessed in this area to have not only a great TV station like KFDX that does such a great job covering high school sports, but to have local sports writers, Zach Duncan, who used to work for the Times Record News, but is now teaching and coaching at Memorial High School, who still loves to write. We talked a couple of weeks ago about Ben Coker kind of being a Rolodex of high school football in Texas. Zach Duncan is the same. Zach Duncan used to take care of the record book for WFISD.
Yeah,
and there was nobody.
Ben's a
better.
Rolodex. I'm not sure what kind of Rolodex Ben is.
and even throw Jonathan Hull in there as well. I mean, we've got some great people in this area that love to cover high school football. But anyway, to get back to some of Zach's point, there's also a scenario just to make it even more. There's a scenario where Memorial and Legacy could both lose this week and still not be eliminated from the playoffs.
That's the 2-4 tiebreaker wildness, which again, let's see what happens this week, because hopefully we don't even have to go down that road. Coach Free says get to 3.
The thing we do know is Cooper and Paladuro are in and most likely playing for the district title in week 11.
I'm telling you right now, 2 wins isn't getting in.
How old do you have to be to have a Rolodex actually on your desk?
How many people
Rosemary
even know what a
one.
Rolodex is?
Rosemary has one.
I know what a Rolodex is, and I'm only 28. I don't have one, never have.
So
Rolodex.
Coach Free, you would have loved this. Last week, our ticketing service went out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it went out all over the state.
Yeah, and so we called because we thought it was a problem on our end, and we called and the lady was like, "Nope, there's an issue." So
Rosemary whipped them
Coach
tickets out.
Coach Halfley, our assistant superintendent and now acting athletic director, called Rosemary, and for you guys that have ever met Rosemary, she's like, "This is your Super Bowl. You get to take
100%.
cash at the gates tonight."
She was so excited. So you know what we did in Burnett?
Go ahead.
Everybody gets in free.
Okay.
There you go. Not dealing with it.
Coach Free
Not
ain't
dealing
chasing
with
that down.
it. Not dealing with it.
Miss Kayla, my secretary, and I looked at each other and I said, just let them in.
Just let them in. Free football in Burnett, Texas.
Fact.
Unfortunately, it was
For
a
the
loss.
Brownwood game.
Yeah, true. Yeah, unfortunately, it was a loss, but are we on the road next week, so we don't have to worry about it?
We're on the road at Stephenville.
And we're back up and running now.
Stadium. Yeah.
Good.
But nothing like a third party ticket vendor who handles. Gosh, I'd hate to know the percentage of Texas high schools they handle. A good chunk of them
70 to 80%.
going down on Friday afternoon
It was great.
Not ideal,
during
as some might
football
say.
season.
Great fun.
Not
And we had a
ideal.
volleyball game going on too.
Jeez Louise. All
Yeah,
right,
we did too because we were hosting Abilene Wiley, or Memorial was hosting Abilene Wiley.
Coach Free, let's talk some college football.
Let's do.
We have talked on this podcast before about some big name coaches with big name buyouts.
Okay.
But the most recent one was LSU and Brian Kelly. $53 million he's owed, if I'm not mistaken.
Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
I can feel the sarcasm through your voice.
Here's the deal. Again, I told you this before. One, it is well noted on this podcast. I'm not a Brian Kelly fan.
Right.
I think he is the worst version of coaches that there can be. Never takes any responsibility and blames everybody else, and just is a overall horrible human being as it appears, and through all the stories that come out about him. But with that, the $53 million, like he just signed the contract that was presented to him.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I just go back to what's funny about this specific contract is Scott Woodward, who's the AD at LSU,
Yes.
was the Texas A&M AD when the second or the largest buyout in the history of the world.
Because
took
Jimbo's
place.
was $70 million. I think.
$70 million for Jimbo. Then he leaves A&M and goes to LSU and signs Brian Kelly, and now we have the second largest buyout. Like, who is allowing Scott Woodward to negotiate deals?
And the governor of Louisiana came out yesterday and said if he has anything to do with it, Woodward will not be involved in hiring.
Well, he's
the new head football
ticked, and he
coach.
clarified today and said, look, this is on the taxpayers. The taxpayers of the state of Louisiana are now footing this bill. Why in the world would we be offering these things as contracts? I just can't believe it.
And here's the thing about these contracts too. I used to be, I used to be anti-pay the players, but the more these contracts that these coaches are signing, and the more these buyouts are, and the more that these schools aren't even batting an eye to pay them to get rid of them. Pay the players. I mean, like I'm no longer. That's no longer even a debate. I mean, which I know we're here now, but that's no longer even a. Why was I against it for so long? Because clearly the money is there, or they wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, and the thing that gets me, and we've talked about this multiple times, is just have some sort of regulation.
Yes.
Like just everybody deserves, like if you're an adult, like you get to 18 years old and you deserve to be able to go make money off of your name, image, and likeness, and or be compensated for performing a service. Like you make the money, but regulate it. Like somebody's got to get in here and regulate this
I think
stuff.
I read a little bit about this new revenue sharing plan, so I think there's going to be a little bit more regulation now with revenue sharing kind of taking over for the NIL process. So we'll see. But yeah, the money being paid out to just this football season alone, I think I saw something the other day, $170 million in buyouts.
Right.
That's
So
right now. We're
in
not even
buyouts.
at the end of the year.
Yeah.
big picture thinking, right? College football in-season firings. I'm looking at a stat. Kelly is the 8th football coach to be fired before November, the most early season firings in college football history. 30,000-foot view. Why is this happening? Does it have to do with the portal?
I think it has to do with the transfer portal. I think it has to do with the early signing period. I mean, I think there's multiple things in allowing you to get a jump start a little bit on, because I mean, obviously you're not going to get a coach to leave his job right now, but you can start working those back channels and you can start finding out through the back channels who might be interested, who might not be interested.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I think it has more to do with the portal and the keeping of the kids that you want to keep and the ability to bring in other kids. Because here's the deal, like, what's so interesting about all these jobs that are open, it's basically, where is Lane Kiffin going to go? And Lane Kiffin has repeatedly, what he's in the middle of competing to get in the playoffs. Like, why all of a sudden is Lane Kiffin the hottest name going to everywhere else? Like, he's in the halfway in the middle. It's not Lane Kiffin's fault that LSU opened and Penn State opened. Like, that's not fair.
And he can't win with any way he ever answers a question.
No,
I mean,
that's the thing that I dislike about it, is that now all of these other coaches are on the hook to have to answer questions that have nothing to do with the team that they're currently coaching and the players that are on the field in front of them.
Here's another interesting thing. You mentioned the portal. So the other day I was watching, once again, Oklahoma State get bombed by Texas Tech, which is a weekly occurrence. But they were actually – so Doug Meacham was actually talking about
weirdest human in the world, just by the way.
But they were talking about – and obviously this coaching staff knows that they're probably all gone at the end of the year with Gundy gone. But they were talking about getting game experience for guys that maybe haven't played a whole lot this year to let them get stuff on tape.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was an interesting thing, because these coaches are – yeah, they're looking out for the school, but at the end of the day, they know they're not going to be at the school, and there's a good chance that a lot amount of those players aren't going to be at the school. So we're going to try to give them some action just so they can get a tape out there, which I just thought was an interesting, which was an interesting perspective.
So, this is actually a good segue as far as we were talking about Substack before. There's this guy that I follow and listen to his podcast and read about. His name's Joe Pompliano, does a lot of sports media stuff. And so I'm going to pull up something that was written by Joe just last week. This is actually before the Brian Kelly buyout.
Yeah, he's good too.
I love Joe. He's so much sports business and the intersection of the two.
Yep.
Here's a chart, with the buyout dollars, again, pre-Kelly. So James Franklin's at the top at 49. Add another row, 53 or 54, whatever it is, for Brian Kelly. But that's just to put it in perspective. I want to read this to you real quick, right? For historical context, from 2000 to 2012, only 9 coaches in total were fired by their schools before November. And I just told you we've had 8 this year alone, right? And Joe says, this has created a paradoxical situation. While many assumed the expanded 12-team college football playoff would create job security by increasing the likelihood that big money schools would get a spot, the opposite has happened. That's because the new 12-team playoff has effectively created a singular benchmark for success. Previously, 10-2 with a bowl game may have been acceptable. Now, failing to even reach the 12-team playoff is considered unacceptable performance. Very interesting.
And that's only the buyouts of the head coaches.
Yes.
You still have buyouts of the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, assistants, all of the staff that works for.
You're looking anywhere another $5 to $10 million on every single one of those staffs.
100%.
Interesting.
And here's another interesting thing to all of that. We've had 8 coaching changes this season, so that's 8 jobs, but that doesn't even factor in Frank Reich is coaching Stanford on an interim basis. Already said he has no interest in the job, so that's another job opening. I think there's another school or two that have an interim coach that's been coaching all year long. Have already mentioned they're not going to be coaching past this year. So you've already got 10 or 11 jobs. I would be willing to bet you good money that Florida State will be open. And then you start looking at the how that rolls downhill as these coaches get replaced, and you're just going to have more openings coming up.
It does bring up a good like a sidetrack. I know we're ready to talk about the actual football, but it does bring it like there's so many good jobs and larger jobs. Who fills them? It's not like you have these hot names. I mean, Lane Kiffin's the name that keeps getting thrown out, but like, who fills the Florida job? Who fills the LSU job? Who fills the Penn State job? Who fills Virginia Tech? Who fills these jobs?
And some of the hot names. Indiana's coach just signed an 8-year extension with I think a huge buyout. So
Matt Rule just extended at Nebraska today.
I think that's kind of well, that's an interesting one because there was a lot of talk about him going to Penn State. But I think the Indiana coach that is a very telltale sign. Not saying he won't leave in 4 or 5 years, but
he'll get bought out for.
But he's not leaving this year.
But he's 70-something years old. But here's the thing, and Nick Saban said it the other day. Who's to say that these jobs now with the revenue share and what's going on in the portal aren't better than the LSU job?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, the Ole Miss job in the last 5 years is a better job than the LSU job. Right. I'm sorry. I don't care what any of those people say. Right. It's a better job. Like, so why leave to go to somewhere that has higher expectations, and especially coming off of what it's coming off of, like you got to start all over. Those jobs aren't as good as the old traditional college football jobs aren't as good anymore. And
you make that point, or with what you just said right here. We were having this discussion the other day about what are better jobs. For example, is Arkansas a better job than let's say Florida State opens? Is Arkansas a better job than Florida State or even Oklahoma State? And the reason I throw Oklahoma State in there because I think we can all agree. Obviously, the Big 12, if you can get right quick in the Big 12, the path to the playoff is a lot easier winning the Big 12 than it is for Arkansas as a middle of the pack SEC team.
What's about
agree?
How much?
Disagree?
Yeah,
I mean, like.
It's the whole deal of like Texas Tech. They're going to spend money. They're going to spend money on athletics. So who cares that it's Lubbock, Texas? You can hire whoever you want there. You got the money. Like it's a better job than Arkansas because they haven't been proven to spend the money there.
And not only that, I mean, but once again, with them being in the Big 12, the path to the playoff is a whole lot easier for a Texas Tech than it is for an SEC school.
Yeah.
Coach Free, to answer your question earlier, who's getting these jobs? Does it mean the Arbuckles of the world, these coordinators, we're going to see a bunch of first-time head coaches? What do you think?
I mean, it's obviously a ripple effect, but the thing about it is, to me, who takes the big ones? Like, other than Lane Kiffin, who have you heard that? I haven't heard anybody.
Well, the two big names I heard for Penn State were Indiana's coach and Matt Rule, who have both now signed extensions. So
Sure.
That's what I'm saying is like there's not the big people out there like in normal years.
And I also think with the way college football is now, especially with the transfer portal and the way recruiting has changed, I don't think you're going to see a lot of NFL coordinators necessarily interested in taking a college job at this point in time.
I mean, the number one name that I keep or the only one that makes sense for me for LSU, because I don't think Lane's going to come out, and I don't know that you're going to pull one of these better ones, is Joe Brady, who was the OC during, he's the Bills OC, and he was the OC during the Joe Burrow year.
But then you're talking about a guy
that still doesn't even make a lot of sense.
And you're talking about a guy that will probably be an NFL head coach in 2 or 3 years if that was the route he chose.
I don't know. To answer your question about the Arbuckles, maybe I don't think those high end jobs, but there's a trickle down for sure. Like and I think they were talking about James Franklin going to Virginia Tech, but I think like your Oklahoma States, like we talked about Arbuckle a month ago for that job.
Right. So. Okay. So
here's an interesting one, and I know Grant brought it up a few weeks ago, and credit to him. One name that's becoming very hot in a lot of these areas, and I would say not necessarily for the Penn States, those big jobs, but that next tier of jobs is Eric Morris. Mm-hmm. And part of the reason, not only is Eric Morris a hot name as far as he's a guy that turned Incarnate Word around, he's a guy that turned North Texas around, but he's also got the leading passer in college football right now.
He finds and develops.
Right.
Yeah, he finds and develops.
So kind of like Arbuckle with Mateer, there's a lot of these programs now that are seeing, okay, well, we can get Eric Morris and potentially get his quarterback as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Another interesting thought, and this just came to me. Tell me if this is total crap, Coach Free. You know, these buyouts, obviously they're huge, but let's use Penn State, for example, and you bring up a good point. Who's the big name that's going to take the Penn State job? Are there people who can fund a buyout for another coach and basically poach him?
Yeah, I mean that happens.
Are we going to see more of that? Maybe. And okay, to this, I know this is totally hypothetical. I'm just using a name because it comes to my head. Theoretically, could Penn State come up with enough money to buy out Joey McGuire from Tech and hire him, and then pay him on top of paying his buyout?
Yeah, he could, and that's the thing. You think about it. So, what did we say Franklin's buyout was, like 20 million, 30 million?
James Franklin, I think it was like 47 million.
Okay, so 47 million plus whatever Joey's buyout is. So you're probably looking at 10 more million maybe.
Okay.
For Joey's. So you're at 57 million. Then the salary.
Right.
And then the assistant pool.
Sure.
Yeah, you could in theory do it.
The college football is wild, wild west, right?
So let me ask you these names real quick because this first one I say heck no, he would never. These are CBS Sports top candidates for the Penn State job. Mike Elko. Why would he leave A&M?
I don't know.
Joe Brady. You mentioned Joe Brady. Matt Campbell. Is Matt Campbell ever going to leave Iowa State?
That's the one I think. That's the one that I think makes the most sense there. Matt Campbell.
Vanderbilt's coach, Clark Lee. I think he's a hot commodity at this point in time.
I don't think he's leaving Vanderbilt's alma mater.
Oh, is it really? Okay. Dan Mullen's name is starting to pop up in some of these coaching searches.
Okay,
again.
so back to that. I've heard that. I've heard Dan Mullen multiple times. I mean, again, the roller coaster of coaches up, down.
Right.
Now he's at UNLV winning again, and he's back to up. I can't believe it.
Is this what you were looking at, Chad?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same list minus Signetti and Rule.
Sure.
But then it's got, like I said, it's got Mike Elko on there.
I would see more Matt Campbell, Manny Diaz.
Dan Mullen. Isn't he in media? Isn't he doing broadcasting?
No, he
UNLV.
went to UNLV this year, I think, isn't
Okay.
it?
He was doing ESPN.
Right.
Lance Leopold at Kansas left 1 year too late.
Yes. And to Mullen's credit, I mean, Mullen was a great coach up until going to Florida. His mistake was going to Florida.
Sure. All right, well, let's talk some real football. You look at these rankings, and Coach Free, what do you think?
Yeah, again, what's interesting to me, and I was going to text this to you guys, like, if I re-ranked the top five, like if you based on what you have seen this year and who they have played, how would you rank the top five? I would have A&M 1,
Yep.
Indiana 2, Ohio State 3, Alabama 4, Georgia or Oregon 5.
Because here's the thing, Ohio State, I mean, I know they started the year with Texas, which Texas is clearly not what everybody thought Texas was going to be.
A quarter away from being unranked.
Right, exactly, exactly. And how they pulled that game out against Mississippi State. But yes, you're exactly right. But Ohio State has played nobody.
A&M, multiple quality wins. Indiana, multiple quality wins. Then Ohio State. Then probably your best one-loss team is Alabama, the way they're playing right now.
I mean, A&M – does Brian Kelly get fired if A&M wins that game last week by a field goal?
Georgia Tech,
seriously,
still undefeated, drops.
Yeah.
Shocked. Like,
I think
shocking.
I mean, and I'm my friends that know me know this. I'm not an A&M fan at all, but they're the best college football team I've personally seen.
They should be
this
number
year.
1 right now, and Indiana should be number 2, and Ohio State should be 3.
So they would A&M and Ohio State could play each other, but not until a national championship, right?
Correct. It's the dumbest thing. I'm telling you right now, it's the dumbest thing to preseason rank teams before you've seen them. Because if
It's
you
all
just-
media fodder.
Yeah, if you did it, yeah. Again, I think it's to have conversation points. But Ohio State is ranked number 1 right now, just because of the preseason, not because of what they've done on the field.
Sure, last year,
Yeah.
of course, that carries over. National champ until otherwise proven not.
Correct.
Okay, Coach Free, Dallas Cowboys 3-4-1 after a loss in Denver against the Broncos. I want to take this two ways. 1, the offense was not very good at all. But 2, the defense continues to be bad. What side of the ball you want to start on?
We can start on offense because that's the thing, and you said it at the beginning of the year. If they don't track meet it, they have no chance at winning, and that's the thing is they cannot have a bad day and be in contention to win. They're going to get blown out because they cannot stop anybody.
And we talked the other day about Dak was due a bad game. Well, here was Dak's bad game.
Definitely.
And I mean, they're not going to, obviously, like you said, they're not going to win if Dak has a bad game.
Right. And
And I would say the score was actually even closer than the game really was, and it was still a 20-point game.
Fair, I'll give you that. And don't get me wrong, Denver leads the league in sacks. Like, their D-line, their pass rushers are good. But even with that, Dak wasn't very good. 2 interceptions, took 2 sacks, pressured 8 times. QB rating was like 50. Like, yeah, he wasn't good.
And he wasn't, you said took sacks. He was getting no time in the pocket.
True.
None. You mentioned the Broncos' pass rush and their defensive front. Between that and the fact that the Cowboys don't have a very good offensive line.
That's fair. I talked to Mickey Spagnola, our Cowboys insider, about that, and I was asking him about why he thought Dak had such a bad game, and he said, don't forget, those guys in front have a big impact on how good your quarterback plays, and they weren't good either.
I agree with that. And to that, you get in a game and he doesn't trust what's going on in front of him, and you're dropping back as many times as they drop back. Like, he's going to make poor decisions because he's not thinking it all the way through. Like, he was making poor decisions, but they weren't running. What's the best medicine for a bad O-line? Run the ball. Yep. And they just abandoned it. I mean, just totally abandoned it. And even when they were doing it, it was just – but they were behind because again, they basically have the Ole defense right now. They just Ole and get out of the way.
Speaking of that defense.
It's putrid. Like, putrid.
This is the first game that I've heard media types. I listen to the ticket a lot. This is the first game wide open.
Bad. This
is the first game that I've really heard the media criticize play calling.
Interesting.
I mean, they've been good with play calling up to now, but
defensive play calling?
No, offensive play calling.
Okay.
They said they think this. General opinion is this is the first game that Shoddy had not called a game well.
Okay, so interesting because what I've heard, and I made this point as far as listening to Tony Romo on the broadcast this week, he was the first time all year I've heard a broadcaster really go after the players more so than the coaching, and by the coaching I mean Matt Eberflus, right? Even on this podcast, I've brought up Eberflus and why his system isn't working. Well, Tony Romo really opened my eyes this week as far as saying the guys on the field just aren't good enough. It's not the X's and O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Well, what never changes? What hasn't changed in the last 3 years? For the most part. The players.
For the most
part. What
part?
has changed the last 3 years?
The coaching staff. The defensive coordinators.
I mean, and they haven't been any better. Even Dan Quinn's last year in Dallas, they weren't great. So we can argue, and it's clear Eberflus isn't the right answer, but who is the right answer?
Right.
Yeah, I do agree with the fact that the players are not very good, and when you're not very good at your job, the players are eventually the ones that make the plays. You can only put them in the positions to be successful. They actually have to go be successful.
Sure.
And that's a lot of the. Again, if you have better players, yes, you're by default going to be a better defense. But with all of that said, I just don't. It goes back to the building of the team and the overall structure of the team, and with the coaches. It doesn't make any. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It's like the coaching and the management are on two totally different pages of what they're buying. They're not the famous Parcell line. If I'm gonna cook the meal, let me buy the groceries.
Yeah.
And that's the deal. Is like, we're trying to cook spaghetti with Mexican food ingredients. It doesn't make any sense. It's so disjointed, and I don't like it. It makes no sense. We've done a good job, an average to good job in the draft, and just nothing on the backside of it, and no consistency. I mean, it's the third defensive coordinator in 3 years.
But you mentioned not running the ball, and obviously when you get behind, that changes a little bit of the play calling, but I also think they abandoned, and I think this is where the criticism of Shoddy was coming, because I think they abandoned it a little too early. Here's an interesting stat, and I didn't know this, so they were talking about it, I think, during the broadcast, that the Cowboys have the number 2 rushing offense in the league.
Javonte Williams has been lights out.
I mean, who would have thought that? So it's like, so even if you're, especially early in the game, even if you're down, when do you as a coach, if you're running an offense, when are you gonna? What's your score parameters for? Okay, we've got to score, and we've got to score quick. So it's
3 possessions in the second half.
Okay.
Down 3 possessions in the second half. You've got to change your philosophy. If you're 2 possessions, you're fine until the fourth quarter, and then even at that, you can still make hay. The thing that gets me though, and I want to be real careful about this. saying this in the right way because I don't know that I can express it in the right way. Even the offense being good, I think it's a little bit of fool's gold.
Really?
I really do. I don't think it's a consistent. I don't think it's something that is a consistent something that can be done for a long time.
You can come in. We're getting a visitor. Come on in. No worries. Right over there works. Hi. Sorry, Coach Free. I think that's
all good.
It's very.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of fool's gold because if you look, we score a lot of points against bad teams. We're blowing them out early on, and then it just kind of steamrolls. In the close games, we don't. When it
Interesting.
kind of comes down to the tough or stuff gets tightened up, it just doesn't. It doesn't seem to me like they're that elite offense that's really going to carry you through a season.
All right, Coach Free. You remember our old segment we haven't done in a while? Class is now in session.
Sure.
All right.
Wait. Are you coming back to the rest of this?
I am. Yes.
Okay, never
it's
mind.
Football.
Sorry.
It's football and
Sorry,
Cowboys
go ahead.
related.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So, ready. Here we go.
I'll shut up.
I added a sound effect for this. Class is now in session.
When I wake up in the morning. Sorry, I'm Saved by the Bell generation.
Much louder
MJ
than I
doesn't know what that
anticipated.
is.
No, he has
Sorry.
no idea.
I've heard of Saved by the Bell, absolutely. Okay, the bell has rung. Class is now in session. Coach Free. Dan Orlovsky, 2 weeks ago, Monday Night Football. It wasn't a Cowboys game, but I was watching it, and he said something that I found very interesting. Orlovsky said there's a difference. He's talking about quarterbacks here. There's a difference between accuracy and ball placement. Okay? Dan says accuracy is, can you hit your guy?
Mm-hmm.
Ball placement is, can you hit your guy while throwing it away from the defender?
Yeah, I agree. And so I'll translate it a little bit differently. It's like hunting. Can you wound the animal or can you kill the animal? Can you be on target? Can you hit the target? Like anybody can put a target out there and we hit it, and you might not hit it in the bullseye. Or can you make a kill? So like you'll see a lot of people throw the ball. Crossing routes are the biggest one for quarterbacks and receivers. You will see a lot of quarterbacks hit the target, and they might, the receiver has to move, or it hits them in the hands, or it hits them high or low.
Sure.
They have to adjust to actually catch the ball, and they do catch the ball, but they get nothing with that. The people who are the best are the ones that throw the ball away from the defender and hit the person in stride where they continue on the path and don't have to adjust to the ball. It's just there. Those are the ones who are elite, I guess we'll put it that way.
I was going to say, is that the difference between good and great?
Correct. And I think it is good and great. And I think it's also based on the scheme that you're in. Our offense was one of the unique things about our offense is we ran a lot of read routes, option routes, choice routes. And so we actually taught quarterbacks to throw the receiver away from the defender that is covering them, if that makes sense. So sometimes as a receiver, you don't see where the receiver is covering you. So we will throw it. We called it throw them open. We would throw them open. We don't want to see them open. We want to throw them open. And so we taught it that way. Not every offense is based around that principle. Ours was. And so we ran a lot of, hey, we didn't call the route. We just told, we called it choice or option or whatever you wanted to call it. We had different names for it, but they reacted. The quarterback and the receiver had to react to what they are seeing in real time. And that way and there's a lot of trial and error in that. You have to throw the ball. You have to do a lot of reps to get used to that. But yes, I agree with this philosophy, but that's also not the standard foundation or principle of every offense either.
Okay.
So speaking of ball placement, that always makes me think of, the Cowboys offenses of the 90s that were so good.
Timing.
I heard them many times talk about their timing. They ran a lot of timing offense where basically Troy Aikman was throwing it to a spot.
And
it was expected that the receiver was supposed to be there.
Correct. So that was the offense that I grew up in as a player. So we knew that if we had slant called, and it was 801, I can't remember the numbers, but the quarterback was taking a 3-step drop and he was throwing it to a spot, and it was my job to get to the spot, no matter what it looked like. So our receivers coaches didn't really care about what the route looked like. You couldn't be too fast to the spot. You couldn't be too slow to the spot. You had to be to the spot in the count of 3.
And the reason, because I can remember there were times, whatever analyst then, John Madden, whoever, Aikman would throw a pick and they would say, and it would look like just the worst throw ever, and they would say that pick's not on Aikman.
No.
the receiver wasn't where he was supposed
Well, that's
to be.
why like Dion became so good to disrupt timing offenses because he'd get up there and jam you and be all over you, and it disrupted your timing. So timing based offenses kind of got thrown off by good cover corners and good cover defenses or blitzes that disrupted timing.
Where is Dan Orlovsky's accuracy and ball placement better when he's running out of the back of the end zone?
It's probably a little bit worse, I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Chad, did you want to make a point? I didn't mean to steer the conversation away.
No, I just wanted to. I didn't realize we were staying with football, so I was just me for misreading the rundown a little bit.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Is there something on the rundown you wanted to make sure?
Well, I mean, I wanted to talk about Grant's favorite sport.
Baseball?
All right.
Did you watch the 18-inning game?
No.
He said that at the beginning. He's like, what makes you think I would watch that?
There's no part of our friendship, Chad, that makes you think that I would watch an 18-inning baseball.
We talked about that before the podcast. We didn't talk about it during the podcast.
No, it was on the podcast.
It was,
was it?
it was
I
like
had
the first,
headphones on.
first 90 seconds, I think.
Oh, okay.
I had headphones on. Remember, the whole beginning of this thing steered way off the rails.
It did, yeah, for a minute. But we were so happy to have you in person. That's why.
I know it's exciting.
So one more topic that we could almost add to the what are we doing real quick.
Ooh, okay. You want to take that again? We can take that again.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
I just love that so much.
We're
I'm
a
gonna-
big time show. We have graphics.
Huge.
Chad, come on.
What are the Dallas Mavericks doing?
In what way,
And
shape,
this
or
isn't
form?
even on the court. This is the lawsuit they filed against the Stars
What?
for a breach of contract
Yeah.
for a contract that was signed in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what it amounts to is the Mavericks are trying to take over all revenue of American Airlines Center, and they're trying to do it by supposedly there's something in the contract that the Stars said they would keep their base of operations in Dallas. Well, they're in Frisco.
Well,
So-
they got a lot
and
of
which-
revenue off of the Nate Bargatze concert show that I went to at American Airlines.
But it's just like it's like the Mavericks. It's like the Mavericks are Jerry Jones' favorite team right now because
Right.
they can't get out of their own way, and it's just you alienate your fan base. Now you're alienating your co-tenant. Now what's next? What are they doing? Like,
It's a great question.
what are they doing? I mean, I
Aren't
guess
they
the Stars have even countersued them now.
We're suing each other.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got to get in on this. I love sports business. That's my wheelhouse.
So I guess the Stars are looking at potentially moving to Plano, which I guess the original plan before Cuban sold the team. Cuban had been very clear about it. The partnership with with the Stars is great, but I want my own arena, and we're going to build it across the highway at this land I bought. Basically, was the whole gist. Well, obviously, new ownership came in, and new ownership wants to build a casino arena with nothing but suites. Apparently, not really, but a lot of suites. So,
Sports are so corporate nowadays.
don't
Everything's
know.
corporate.
but the Stars are looking for suburbs.
Well, that's the whole deal with bringing in the Adelson family. They own
Right.
Las Vegas Sands, and once sports betting gets legalized in Texas, which apparently is only a matter of years away,
Well, but
they want to be the first to build.
It's going to take a legislature
destination.
change because the tops of the Texas state legislature right now are very anti-approving gambling. So,
Well, there's this new thing now too, where like these companies, these sports gambling companies, are allowed. There's like apparently a gray area in the law,
Yes.
where it's considered the same as trading stocks, which of course is federally legal. So it's like you're selling futures on teams. It's not. I don't
and
know.
I don't know if we have time.
I'm on the wrong podcast.
We didn't even talk
I
about.
came in the wrong door.
We didn't even talk about the NBA big news of all. Speaking of gambling, of
Oh, the
all of
arrests?
the federal arrests.
Coach Free, anybody coming knocking on your door asking about poker games that you've played in?
I don't play cards, and I dang sure don't give people money for free. I'm
Good.
way too much of a tightwad.
Good.
Do you give your kids money for free?
It's debatable. The allowance, based on the chores that Jackson Freeman does while we are now living together at the house, he is basically stealing money from me.
Wow.
Who cooks?
Well, wait. He's stealing money from you. You're leaving him alone to figure out how to get home from a football game tonight while you're watching your other kid play.
Don't tell me your parents didn't forget about you every now and then. I mean, we all got forgot. Like,
Yes.
he'll figure it out.
He will. He will figure it out.
He'll figure it out.
What if he does forget and calls dad's like, Dad, you coming to get me?
I'll be like, yeah, I'll be there in 4 hours.
4 hours, yeah. Well, anyway, I've been getting scolded for us going even a second over an hour on these podcasts
Scolded
lately.
by who?
The folks above.
They?
The suits.
Wow.
No, just kidding. But we got to try to fit this into an hour. So we're at 55 minutes. You add in the commercial
Wow.
break, and we're at an hour. So all that to say, Coach Free, Thanks so much for coming in
This
person.
was great.
It's outstanding. We got to have one of these every year.
Should we have him sign the wall or something?
That's a good question. Yes, we do need to have him do something.
Well, I'm going to do that. I'll get in trouble. I mean, who's they? They can't. What are they going to do? Find me?
Hey, I'll tell him where you live. Burnet, Texas.
That's fine.
Burn it, darn
Burn it, darn it.
Darn it.
Okay, let's see. Good luck to Jordan Freeman and the Memorial Maverick volleyball team playing tonight in Childress. Thank you.
Memorial at 5, Legacy at 7.
Good luck to the Leopards as well as they try to. For Legacy, it would be the first ever playoff win if they
Yes.
were to pull it off. So
Yes.
good luck to the.
And Burnett, you said Burnett's playing tonight as well?
Burnett is tonight. China Springs in Georgetown. Good AD's not there. And then state cross country and state band next week.
Very good. Very good. All right.
Let's go Lone Star Cup.
Follow us on all of the socials. Facebook, it's the Free For All Pod. On YouTube, it's at FREE4ALL_pod. And on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, it's at FREE4ALL_pod as well. Thank you so much for joining us this week. This has been episode 74 of the Free For All with the one and only Coach Free, live and in person from the KFDX Plus studio. We'll join him again next week via Microsoft Teams as he's back in Burn It, Darn It. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.